Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Megaman X4. The last part we took out the rest of the Mavericks and kind of killed Colonel and Double. And now it's time for our generic boss rush level. Yay! Actually, this one's not that hard, it's just really long. And as usual, we're going to be playing music for it, so enjoy! Have I ever mentioned how much I love Pokemon Gen 2's soundtrack, especially in the remake? Speaking of Pokemon, I got my Alpha Sapphire game right here, and I really want to play it right now, but I want to finish this first. This is amusing. It really is X. You're Sigma! My plan to keep Repliforce and hunt Maverick hunters at each other's throats worked perfectly. Double did a good job as a spy. Why you... Repliforce are the fools this time. Now all that's left is to destroy Earth with the very weapon they made. No, I'll never let you do that. Try hard, X. Your life depends on it. If you're wondering why that fade to the black was there, that's actually because that's where the first half of the stage ends. There's a load time there randomly. Anyway, first half is weak against Rising Fire, so get that out. That background looks mighty familiar, doesn't it? That's right, the Burkana and Gareth fights from Extreme 2 used this background.
Ready for your final journey?
Now, as far as I'm aware of, Rising Fire is actually the only thing that can hurt this guy. He has two attacks. Well, first off, there's this scythe swipe, which I think you can only dodge by dashing underneath the scythe. And then if you let him go, he'll do this little 2 electric ball attack, which is very easy to dodge. In fact, the first phase is pathetically easy. Not the easiest, well, actually, yeah, not the easiest first phase of a Sigma fight. That goes to X6.
You're very good, X. But not for long. You won't be able to evade this attack.
He says that, and yet, ironically enough, Sigma Phase 2 is the easiest of the 3 phases. He only has 2 attacks. He'll throw his scythe around like that, then he'll jump up in the air and throw it at whichever part of the area you're on. If you're on a wall, he'll throw it at the wall. If you're on the floor, he'll throw it at the floor. And then he'll do this little triangular attack. Pretty much the best way to avoid that is just get on the wall behind Sigma. I didn't do that because I'm reckless, but it's really easy, honestly. He's weak against Lightning Web if it's not obvious enough, so yeah. And he's down. Weirdly enough, this is actually one of the more famous designs of Sigma, to the point where Dead Rising 3, I believe, used it for one of its little minigame things. I should play a Dead Rising game at some point. And I don't even mean for this channel, I mean for fun, because I've never actually touched one.
Feel my incredible power. Drown in the empty vastness of space.
Tremble with terror. You are finished.
I'm really sad I didn't get a specific dialogue for that, because he has like 6 different things he can say there. My favorite one being,
Prepare to become space dust.
Anyway, Sigma Phase 3 here is really weird. There's technically 3 enemies in it. Well, aside from those little 3 mini Sigma heads. There's this little slime head thing. This is weak against Ground Hunter, and you can only hit it when its mouth is open, so watch out for that. The other phase... Well, first off, this form here has 2 attacks. It can either suck you in or blow you away. It's pretty simple, honestly. The second... Well, first off, the pattern is that it goes head, 3 little heads, and doing their various attacks, and then this sniper robot form, which looks like something right out of Gundam. This Gundam form has a The End attack, which is a ground nuking laser, so watch out for that. It also has this other little laser attack, which it'll try to attack in pattern. The robot half is weak to Soul Body, but it's so hard to hit with it that the charged X-Buster is the better option of the 2. The 3 little mini heads here have their own little attacks. The blue one, which is Ice Elemental, does that attack. The fire one will come from the left and fire 4 little waves of fire at you that spread out like a spread shot from Contra. And the lightning head shoots very similarly to the scythe in the previous part of the fight, where the ball lands, it shoots lightning bolts first. In fact, here it is right now. But where the ball lands, it'll actually send the 2 little lightning bolts out from its side. It's actually a very simple boss when you get the hang of it, but it's just the fact that there's so much to do in it that you kind of can die very easily. Especially by debris you don't see coming. If you die out of this fight, don't feel ashamed. Even I still do these days. What's really weird is that in my original playthrough, the music in this fight glitched, and after a while it started playing Frost Walrus's second half theme. I don't get why that happened, but it did. Seriously, how are you supposed to hit this guy with Soul Body? It makes no sense. The Thunderballs might be one of the few occasions where the jet boots are actually useful, but it's all up to opinion, I suppose. Admittedly, the head is actually the more dangerous out of the 2 forms, just because it can do a lot of damage quickly if you're not paying attention. But that's all easy to dodge if you know what you're doing, I suppose. Also, I find it weird that on the pause screen, X doesn't get a different mugshot for having his armor on. Also, if it's not obvious enough, both of these halves of the fight, be it the robot or the head, both have their own health bars, so this is technically a 2-tiered fight in of itself. I will say it is probably the longest Sigma boss fight, though. Because, let's see, X1 had 2 forms, X2 had 2 forms, X3 had 3 forms. No, X2 had 3 forms, actually. No, wait, no. No, it didn't. X3 had technically 3 if you count the lava section. X5 has 2 forms, X6 has 2 forms, X7 has 2 forms. Yeah, this is the longest Sigma fight, actually. Well, technically, if you want to count Velgarder, X1 had a 3-formed final boss as well. Okay, good, the head's dead. First Fred was dead, and now the head is dead. I really do like the design of the mech for some reason, I don't know why. Anyway, I'm out of things to talk about for this boss fight, so how about Pokemon, huh? I think it's a pretty good remake, actually, because I'm not a big Gen 3 fan to begin with. But this is really invigorating my interest in the Gen 3 for whenever I Let's Play that in the future. Especially with the amount of legendaries. Oh, thank God he's dead. What's so funny?
This weapon is aimed straight at Earth. Already. No one can stop it now.
Damn!
Goodbye, X.
Well, you're dying nonchalantly this time. And wow, that loop on the alarm is really annoying. But anyway, even after the final boss dies, the game is not over until you walk about 5 feet to the left. Or right. Hey, General! General! The weapon can be stopped with my body. But then you'll... Many of my men have died. As their leader, I must live with them. X, please forgive our foolishness. General! What is with you in saying people's names when they die, X? Can't you say, like, no, or something like that? Be like Zero in his playthrough. No.
This is Maverick Hunter Headquarters.
Zero.
It's good to see you're safe, X. I was really worried about you.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry. It's all over. Go home and rest. You've earned it.
But Zero, what if I become one of the Mavericks?
Don't ask such a silly question. I'm breaking contact now.
Wait, Zero! I'm serious. Zero, if I become a Maverick, you have to take care of me.
Don't be ridiculous. Now hurry on back.
Promise me, Zero.
I'll rant about that voice actor in a moment. But that was Mega Man X4 as X. And as X, it's actually one of my favorite Mega Man X games. I'd say it's my second favorite, right below X8 and right above X1. And I know that's probably going to be one of my more controversial opinions about the franchise. As for the game itself, as X, it is very well balanced. While the bosses are a bit too easy with their weaknesses, the levels themselves are still fun to go through, and the story, while it's cheesy and terribly voice acted, it's decent, I suppose. Graphically, for the PlayStation, I think it's pretty good, honestly. As for why I redid this game entirely, I'm going to get more into the Zero reasons. Well, actually, no. More accurately, let me tell you why I redid X in particular. First off, in my original Let's Play, I used the Ultimate Armor and spammed the Nova Strike the entire time. Second off, I had a lot of technical issues going on at the time. 3, the video quality sucked, and 4, my quality sucked, because I was going through a lot of stuff at the time, and it kind of showed in my videos, because if you go back, I sound kind of depressed. I misread Zebek as Sebek there, and I was like, why am I Persona in 1? Or, why am I Persona in 1? My grammar never ceases to amuse me. If you want to play X4, it's available on the PlayStation, the PC, the Sega Saturn, which is completely the same as far as I'm aware, unlike Mega Man 8. And I think it's available on the PlayStation Network, but don't quote me on that. I haven't checked. As for Zero's playthrough, which will be coming up right after this, actually, there's no real reason I'm going to redo that other than the fact for a quality increase, and the fact that since I'm redoing X, might as well redo Zero, right? But the thing is for Zero, one thing I'm not sure about how I'm going to do it is whether or not I'm going to use Black Zero again, because if I recall correctly, in my original playthrough, I used Black Zero the entire game, which, mind you, unlike X5 and 6, Black Zero is just a cosmetic change, so actually, no, here's what I'll do. I'll play the first part as Black Zero, then the rest of it will be as normal. Yeah, that sounds good. By the way, I love the credits song. In fact, X4 is also one of my favorite soundtracks in the series. X1 is still probably no, X6 is the best soundtrack. X1's a very close second, but this is probably third place. Then X5, then probably X8, then 2, 3, then 7. Anyway, time for a post-game epilogue. Of sorts. If it would scroll on screen. Thank you. The battle has ended, yet somehow X does not feel quite right. What caused all those robots to turn Maverick? Will it happen to me someday?
Has X just realized his tragic destiny? It appears that X will have to solve this mystery one day. Soon, and that's a nod to X5 supposedly trying to be the last game in the series, but then Capcom went against Inafune's wishes and made X6, 7, and 8. And Command Mission. Screw you, Capcom. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in part 6 when we start off the Zero playthrough. See you guys then.